Shalom, shalom. Want to say all praises be to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Harakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the sincere brethren. Akim out there across the four winds, the four corners of the globe, pushing the truth, the good news of Yahweh Shai, proclaiming salvation to the elect of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and proclaiming the downfall of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and his wicked empire. So this video is going to be a World War III update, because really that's one of the main prophecies we waited to come to pass, man, of which we seen it. We seen the footsteps in that direction with North Korea sending troops, showing a hard alliance with Russia, man, sending troops to fight on the front line of the Ukraine war, which is really a Russia-NATO proxy war, man, where Russia in it and NATO is basically backing Ukraine. You understand? So we see that, and we see Iran and Israel, Hezbollah. Now, I mean, that's still going on. You understand? And it says Iran, which is about to hit back the state of Israel for striking them, I think it was last week. You understand? So, hey, World War III is the most I moving them chess pieces, man. For sure, for sure. So this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, verse 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against it. Now, this goes into what? The land of Russia. This goes into the end times and the land of Russia. I prophesy against him, because ultimately the Lord is against Russia, same way. But the Lord is going to use Russia to destroy, to be the main proponent of destroying Babylon the Great in this third world war, this nuclear war. You understand? That's why the scriptures goes into the Egyptians against the Egyptians, because the Russians are Edomites and the Americans, NATO, are Edomites. You understand? But the Lord gonna use them to come up against one another, man. So go find that precept. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. Russia is one kingdom, and NATO and the EU, America, Babylon the Great is another kingdom. So you have two Edomite kingdoms coming up against each other. Understand? Which is beautiful. Ezekiel chapter, you ever heard the saying, killing two birds with one stone? That's what the Lord is the master of that, man. What do you think the Lord does every day, man? When somebody get so-called murdered. The person who got murdered, Job 4:7, they wasn't innocent. They might have been innocent to the person that murdered them, but they wasn't innocent in the eyes of the Lord. So the Lord got two birds with one stone, because the murderer have to get the punishment for a murderer, and the victim, he got punished for his sins, man. You understand? His or her sins. Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 3. And say, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaw. Basically, Russia going back to what? That old Soviet mentality, which was spearheaded by who? Vladimir Putin, when he came into power in the year 2000. As he himself said it in his memoirs, that the fall of the Soviet Union was basically the greatest blunder in Russian history, something like that. To that effect, you could look it up. He said it, man. He said the fall of the Soviet Union was basically the biggest blunder in Russian history. So his whole goal was to what? Bring back the Soviet Union, which he has been doing. You know what I mean? He put his proxy, he put puppets in a lot of them former Soviet countries, man, like Belarus, you know what I mean, Georgia. All those countries basically I think Moldova, all those countries basically have Russian puppet leaders, man. As what? He trying to get back those that Eastern Bloc. You know what I mean? You could go to the history of the Warsaw Pact, which basically is a lot of those Eastern European nations that were what? Soviet nations. That's what Putin is looking to bring back. That's what the whole war in Ukraine is about. Because what? NATO is trying to encroach, basically trying to subvert those nations, take them over, bring them into the alliance, but Russia ain't having that, man. And Ukraine was basically the last straw. And I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thy army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Kind of that's what we have right now going on over there in Ukraine, man. We got the Russian army for years now, battling, man, getting battle tested, really just to prepare for this third world war. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togama of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with the count. So basically going into what? Many nations are going to be allying with Russia. You have the Iranians, which are the Persians. It's Ethiopia, Libya, Gomer, and Togama, which is Turkey. As Turkey is a NATO nation, but guess what? It's really flip-floppy, man. Which we also are going to flip-flop into the hands of Russia, man. And the main news right now is North Korea. Eglon, some brothers call him, man, through the spirit. Kim Jong-un might be Eglon, you know, that Moabite king. Eglon is selling troops. Kim Jong-un is sending troops to North Korea, to Russia, man. You know what I mean? They have an alliance. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Putin visited North Korea, or Kim Jong-un visited Russia, something of that sort. But they had a meeting not too long ago, the two leaders. So what? That's a major alliance. And what? North Korea, Russia, what? Thermonuclear nations, man. I know the U.S. trying to see what they could do, man, to try to come up against that, man. But that's the prophecy right there. The Lord bringing these nations together to come up against Babylon the Great. Joel chapter 3 verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. So all these nations, build up your military industrial complex. Military first. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong. Because places like North Korea, that's a so-called poor economic country. But guess what? The military gets all the funding, man. Why? Because that's all according to prophecy. The Lord pushing that military spirit upon the nations, man. For the last 50 to 60 years, India, Pakistan, all these nations, man, went from agricultural poor nations to be military nuclear powers, man. Gearing up ultimately for this day and this time right here, the Third World War, where you're gonna have the allies of basically Russia against NATO and the EU, Babylon the Great. That's gonna be the final showdown right there. And then Yahushua gonna come through and smash all of them, man. After they done fucking up each other, the Lord gonna come through and subdue all of the kings of the earth, man. Psalm says what? To slap chains, fetters of iron upon their kings, man. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. Joel chapter 3, verse 12. Verse 11, Salakia, assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together around about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Because ultimately, Yahushua, the mighty ones, Yahushua gonna come back with them angels, man, in the midst of this World War III. Like I said, to subdue these nations. But yeah, all the heathens being awakened, man. Verse 12, let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Yehoshaphat, for there would I sit to judge all the heathen around about. The valley of Yehoshaphat It's going to be in the Middle East region. It's going to be an epicenter, one of the main epicenters of this World War III. It's going to be a global war, but it's going to have epicenter same way. And in the Middle East, you have your house probably going to be the great epicenter, man. You understand? But it's going to be many different theaters, man. It's going to be a world war, man, and it's going to be mad nations, man, involved, man, which we see in the beginning of it, right here. Different fronts, different allies, man. And it's a beautiful thing to see. It's a beautiful thing to see come to pass. Let's look at Revelation chapter 13, verse 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear. Going into what? This basically the Edomite rulership, man. Starting with the leopard, which is the Greeks, the first of the Edomite rulers. You understand? And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear. Because the Russians are going to be the end of this place. The leopard was the beginning of the Edomite rulership. The bear is going to be the end of the Edomite rulership, which is the Russians. The leopard is the Greeks. The bear is the Russians. And his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. The lion goes into what? The time when the English Empire, the British Empire. You know what I mean? And then we at the end now, with Babylon the Great and NATO, man. The 7 heads and 10 horns, man. Babylon the Great, the whole riding upon is it the dragon, man? Is that Revelation 17? Revelation 12. So Revelation 12 and 3, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns, 7 crowns upon his heads. So that goes into what? The modern day NATO and the EU. It goes back to the Rome, which was wounded unto death with the reincarnation of the Roman Empire is what? Babylon the Great, NATO, and the EU. That's why the establishment of NATO is known as one of the marquee documents is what? The Treaty of Rome. Because this place is the reincarnation of the Roman Empire, man. You understand? And just like Rome fell, this place is gonna fall, man. This place is gonna fall. And we in that time of what? The World War III, man, which is gonna be the main thing to bring this place down. That Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is gonna use to bring this place down, to usher in the return of Yahweh Shai. You understand? So Luke 12. Book of Luke, chapter 12. Luke chapter 12, verse 51. Luke chapter 12, verse 51. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth? I tell you nay, but rather division. Actually, let me start at 49. Luke 12 and 49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it already be kindled? But I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how am I straight until it be accomplished? So the Lord coming to cleanse this place, man. And the fire is going to already be kindled because of the Lord Yahushua is coming in the midst of World War III, when thermonuclear missiles is being shot off. Because the thermonuclear missiles is part of the Lord's army. And the Lord come back in the midst of that to what? Subdue the kings of the earth. to finish them off, man. To get his glory, man. Philippians, see what Philippians says, the 2nd chapter says what? Every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess. That's what the Lord coming to demonstrate, man. You understand? So with that, well, be brothers and sisters, but if Lord's willing, we soon out of here. We see these prophecies coming to pass. We see this World War III picking up more and more steam. Things falling in place more and more. Just patience possessing your souls. Measuring the time, 2 Ezra 9:1. Measure the time, show what? The prophecies. You see the prophecies coming to pass through what? Watching the news, so on and so forth, seeing what's going on in the world. And everything linking up. So with that, going to say all praises be to Abanawa Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai Ba'asham Harakapadash. Double honor to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone, who rule well. Shalom to the elect. Kwame Yasha Allah Abad Babal.